Hi guys, this video is actually going to knock out two of our body systems. We're going to talk through both the endocrine system and we're going to just touch on the reproductive system. We're not going to go into crazy detail because we spent an entire 4-week class on it last school year, so hopefully it'll just be a quick refresher. As we start the endocrine system here, the first thing I want you to do is make sure that you read the pages in the textbook about the endocrine system. Unfortunately, I don't have one with me, so I don't have the page number, so you might have to do a little bit of digging. But it's important that you read through that before you take any notes. Okay. As we go through here, you'll see that on the diagram, there's most of these say gland after them. And remember from last year that a gland is any body part that produces a liquid substance. And most of these endocrine system organs are glands. So the function of the endocrine system here is to produce hormones. And we learned about hormones last year. It's a pretty important vocab word to have in your notes. Hormones are natural chemicals in the body that spark change and regulate body function. Now we focused, when we were talking about the reproductive system, we talked about both regular hormones and sex hormones. And remember, sex hormones are just a different kind of hormone. And remember that they're natural chemicals, so you don't have to do anything to get them into your body. You don't have to eat something extra. You don't have to, drink something. Your body's going to make these naturally, unless you have some sort of dysfunction in which you have to put a man-made version of that hormone into your body. Okay. For the organs and parts here, and for the other information, I'm actually going to give you some hormones and some organs for you to know, so just skip that for right now. Once we get that table done, you're going to need to do your Googling of two dysfunctions or diseases of the endocrine system here and put them in your notes in 10 words or less. Okay? So I'm going to ask you to actually be responsible for knowing 5 hormones and the organ that they are produced in and what that hormone does. Now, really, you should already know 2 of these. We've already talked about the third, so really you're only learning two new ones. Okay? So if I was an 8th grader in Mr. Robinson's health class, I would make sure and have this table written down in your notes just like this, because you're going to see this on your assessment here at the end of the unit. Okay? The first hormone we're going to talk through is insulin. Okay? Now we've already talked about glucose just a little bit when we started talking about the body systems, but insulin is produced in your pancreas and it regulates your blood sugar. You might remember back when we were talking about how your body uses energy and how it needs sugar to do what it's supposed to do along with the oxygen in the cells. We talked about glucose and how almost everything that you eat is broken down into a sugar that your body uses for energy. Most of it is broken down into glucose, although some of it is broken down into fructose, things that come from fruit, or lactose, things that come from dairy. Glucose is the stuff that we use for automatic energy right now. Okay, so what's going to happen is you're going to eat the food, whatever it is, and it's going to go through your digestive system. Once it gets into your stomach, there's a small organ that sits just to the right of your stomach called the pancreas, and its job is to produce insulin. Now we talked about when that food is broken down and that sugar is released in the bloodstream, your bloodstream is only supposed to have a certain amount of blood sugar in it, that glucose, right? And if it has way too much in it, your pancreas has to produce a lot of insulin to kind of bring that level down, right? Now, if you are someone who doesn't produce enough insulin for a couple of different reasons, you're somebody that's maybe diabetic, and there's actually 2 kinds of diabetes. There's type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. Type 1 is for people who just their pancreas just isn't right. And a lot of times these people learn that they're diabetic very early in life. Actually, one of my very good friends growing up, we were in the 5th grade when he learned that he was diabetic and is on an insulin pump now. The other kind of diabetes, type 2 diabetes, used to be, now we call it, it used to be called adult onset diabetes, because most of the time these people are very large and they're eating a lot of really bad food, and it would set in early adulthood. Well, as our society has progressed and our people have gotten bigger actually that is not called type or adult onset diabetes anymore. It's just called type 2 because we have enough kids getting it. And a lot of times it can be managed with a proper diet and a weight loss regimen. So there's that. Now, the next two you already know. We talked through them last year. We have testosterone, which is produced in the testicles, and that's the male sex hormone. It's responsible for puberty. It's responsible for sperm production, and remember, it gives male characteristics, kind of that more muscle tone, deeper voice, thicker body hair, that kind of thing. On the female side, we have estrogen, and estrogen is produced in the ovaries, and that's the female sex hormone, just like testosterone is for males. That gives women the ability to produce offspring, right? It gives them female characteristics. You know the drill there. Now the next one you need to know is called adrenaline. And adrenaline is produced in the adrenal glands, which are kind of spread all over the body, but the main control center is in the brain, okay? And its job is to manage stress, and that looks like often the fight or flight response. And I know you've heard that before, but basically this is how it works. Your brain is going to perceive an impending stress, okay? And usually these are not like the stress of, oh, I have a test and I'm stressed, or, oh, I just, maybe this is not a very good example, but I just broke up with my girlfriend and I have stress. No, these are stresses that might impact your life or death kind of situation. Maybe not to that extreme, but you kind of get the idea. And what's going to happen is you are going to get, if you're in these kind of high risk situations, you're going to get this flow of adrenaline. And what adrenaline does is it's going to spread to your body, to your pain receptors in your body, and it's actually going to dull the pain receptors, and in some instances actually shut them off. So if you look at guys like, I guess for you people, maybe the best time that you ever felt adrenaline, or the best example of it, is before a sporting event when you're like jacked up, ramped up, ready to go. If you look at guys like that are in the NFL, they have made a career out of managing that adrenaline, getting themselves up to an adrenaline rush, and managing that all through that game, right? And they can just take hit after hit after hit after hit and never really get hurt because their pain receptors are basically shut off until after that adrenaline level kind of comes down. And a lot of times those guys that are so ramped up have something called an adrenaline crash, where they just like need to sleep for maybe a full day afterward to just kind of let their body fix itself, okay? This fight or flight response, this is going to seem like a really extreme example and kind of simple to you, but this is how it works. This is going to be simple, stupid. Let's say you're just on a stroll in Tiffin, Iowa, right? And you see a bear walking down the street. Now what's going to happen is your body is going to perceive that as stress. And something's going to kick in your brain, and this is where the fight or flight response happens. And your body's going to say, hey, listen, this is just a baby bear. We can fight this thing and we're going to be just fine. Or your brain's going to say, that is a big bear and it's going to kill me. I need to hightail out of it right now, out of here right now. So again, that's a really stupid example, but you kind of get the gist of that. Okay. The last one I want you to have, I learned it as thyronin. The more research I've done, I've also seen it written as thyroxin. What I think the difference is thyroxin here is the natural hormone, and thyronin is more of the supplemental hormone if you don't produce enough of it. But you can gather that that's made in the thyroid, and your thyroid actually sits right here in your neck, okay? And its job is to regulate your metabolism. You may not know the word metabolism yet, but metabolism is the rate in which you digest your food and use its energy, okay? Right now, since you guys are going through puberty, your metabolism for most of you is pretty high. It means you're going to eat a lot. And if you're getting ready to grow, you're going to eat even more because you need that sustenance from your food. So there's that. So that's the endocrine system in a nutshell. Why don't you pause the video right now, go through Google and find 2 disease dysfunctions. Diabetes would be a perfect one to put in there, so you know that. So find 2, Google them in 10 words or less, and then fire this back up, and you're going to go through the reproductive system here in just a minute. Okay, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the reproductive system, but all I need you to do is just make sure that you read the reproductive system books, that section in your book before you do that, okay? And then these are the notes that you need to have. You need to have that the function is to produce offspring, that the organs and parts for males are the testicles, for the females are the ovaries, okay? So we've already learned that. Right now, I don't care that you have any other important information, but I do want you to Google the disease dysfunctions. Any STD that you find will work. Infertility can be one. HIV can be one, although that doesn't really affect the reproductive system. We just get it through the reproductive system as one of the modes. Okay. Read the books. Use the Google machine. Stop and rewind this video as much time as you need to get them in your notes. Okay. And this should wrap up your body systems for the time being.